Hello everyone, my name is Jean Maria, and today I'm going to talk to you about a book called Business Adventures. If you ever heard of this book, it's probably because it is Bill Gates and Warren Buffett's favorite business book. I know, amazing. Two of the richest folks in the US love the same book that I'm now reviewing. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out my website readermaria.com, it's down in the description, follow that link, check out my Fiverr gig for a spokesperson. If you ever need a spokesperson, I'm here. And before I get carried away with self-promotion, let's begin the review. Business Adventures was written in 1960s by John Brooks and only republished again in 2014. The book is written in a different way than other economics and business related books, so it doesn't just boil down to tips and tricks to succeed in business, what businesses don't tell you, and basically any other book that tells you to give your employees free lunch to make them do their work. No, it is just 12 books written for The New Yorker by John Brooks. He was a Wall Street writer, and he wrote these 12 stories that you have to understand. You have to understand their point. You have to understand what they're about and what they're trying to tell you. And that is actually pretty exciting for me. So I selected my top 3 picks for my favorite stories, and I will tell you about them. Disclaimer, I don't argue over tastes and preferences, but you might find these stories super boring and find other stories really exciting that I didn't find as exciting. So this is just my opinion and my review. So here are the ones I liked. First, Xerox. As you noticed, there was a little play on the words in the title. Since Xerox was the first company to introduce us to this word, they were basically the inventor of this genius machine that allows you to make copies of different papers. You can understand the little pun there. Now, in this story, Brooks uses the Xerox company as a classic example of a company that started out as an invention, as an innovation, something groundbreaking, to just becoming one of those large corporations that don't implement innovations and don't listen to their employees. Which is pretty sad, to be honest. There was huge potential there, but well, this is how things went. The second story is Ford Edsel Fiasco. Now, this is one of the best stories in the book, in my opinion, because it is written in a very interesting language, and it took a very unique situation from the 1950s. So what happened there? Basically, Ford, the car company that is still up and running to this day, decided that their cars weren't good and expensive enough. So they introduced Edsel, their newest car. It had a great name that Ford paid thousands for. It was picked out by marketing professionals. The car advertisements were just amazing. They used all the studies to see if their ad was good enough, which it was. The car itself was also great. Like, the quality was just maybe not the best on the whole market, but it was definitely not the worst. Everything was indeed going smooth. Until one point. Now, while you would think that the car would sell out like crazy, people would remember it for a generation as the greatest car, and it was on people's minds. It had a lot of publicity. It had good attention. It didn't sell out. No, it didn't. I know. The company actually had a lot of losses. It would be, for example, as if they took and gave out 150,000 of their previous cars for free. That's how much money they lost. What could go wrong? Please comment down below what you think went wrong, and if you actually know about the situation from the book, or if you just studied it on the internet or wherever, then I think I could really count on your help because I need some help understanding what went wrong. So the third story that I liked is Texas Gulf Case of 1959. So these stories are all set in the late 1950s, and it's not something surprising because the book was written back then. I loved the story. It was interesting and the message was clear to me at once. In the 1950s, in the late 1950s, the Texas Gulf decided to explore the Canadian Shield. They flew all over it and saw that the radars were glitching in approximately 3,000 locations. Having smart people on board, they knew something was definitely interesting. So they bought this land and decided to explore it, and what they found was a whole bunch of minerals that were expensive, rare, and just would raise the stocks by thousands of percents. The scientists that were on board grabbed the opportunity, decided to convince their whole families to buy the stock before it flew up. They did that. They denied everything to the public until their family bought enough stocks. When the public finally found out, they weren't too satisfied. Let me say that. There was a huge scandal regarding this, and this is how the insider trading laws were born, kids. Hope you guys liked this video. Give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, I already told you all that. Thank you for watching and bye.